Are you interested in media coverage with over 80,000 podcast playbacks per month, along with automated outreach to thousands of customized targets to grow your revenue more efficiently? With over $8 billion in new sales pipeline growth delivered to our partners so far, we can help. Please reach out for more information.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm excited to be joined by my friend and business partner, Mr. Michael Vincent, Mr. Podcaster Extraordinaire. We talk supply chain news, trends, insights. This week, we're going to be talking about tariffs and impacts on global supply chains. How are you doing today, Michael?
I'm doing great, dude. I'm doing absolutely great. Did you see what my good friend Tristan Bordello, he put terrifying, TARIFFYING. I wonder how many people are going to try and spell check him and say, "Hey, dude, you spelled that wrong." But,
right, exactly. Yeah, no, it's
there's our whole discussion. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
It's definitely a hot topic, isn't it?
It's a hot topic, and it sucks for those who are actually trying to import and sell commodities, products, or build and that type of stuff because of the insecurity, right? If you're watching the stock market and watch it go crazy, sit tight every time it dips by, because it is going to go back up. That craziness is short-lived. There just isn't any doubt, and I can show you the stock market from the beginning of time and how that works. Okay, it's not gonna change. Not gonna change. Exactly. We're still way better than we were a year ago, like miles better than we were a year ago. So chill. But as far as people who've got stuff on the water that may arrive and be 3 times as expensive, dude, holy cow. I mean, there's people out there going, look, I've got $3,000 in it, or $30,000. Got $100,000 in this. I got $1 million in this. But if it arrives and the tariffs hit, and now it's going to cost me X more, it's better for me to cut bait and lose $1 million or $10 million on an order. It's crazy talk, dude.
Yeah, we're seeing that. I'm seeing messages and posts from people talking just like that. Should I just cancel it? I put 30% down on a boatload of product from China. Should I just cancel and walk away at that point? Because I cannot afford to sell it. I'll lose money. So there's literally that going on right now.
It is literally insane. And the inability to pull that trigger, you can understand, right? I mean, that's a big bullet to shoot one way or the other, right? When you're talking about actual product on the water and bringing it in and sales, is difficult. And then you've got, which should bring stability. Hopefully it'll be a good thing. Is you get, like, Japan is in negotiating with Trump right now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So now you're waiting for that to come through.
Right. Absolutely.
Because that's going to be a major indicator of how some other people start to line up. Right. It's crazy. The uncertainties is out of control, and you can certainly feel it right now. And in the logistics industry that you and I play in, which obviously supply chain is the product on the water and the people who are buying and moving. But when you get into the service providers, the capacity providers, and the service providers for that logistics supply chain, data intelligence, geopolitical intelligence experts, and flexibility. Right. You either have those or you're dead, or you're going to guess correctly accidentally.
Right. There's definitely disruption.
By the way, is not a good strategy.
Right. Absolutely. You and I were talking offline. One of the guys that's been front and center on the news a lot is Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful, baby.
Yep. He's been on.
What did you see? 245% tariffs. And he said 3 weeks ago, just slap 400% on them and be done with it.
That's what he said about China. He said, just make it 400% and squeeze, baby, squeeze until they really get serious. And then we come up with a deal that works, basically.
Yeah.
No, because the thing about it is the trade deficit. I was researching that. We have over a $730 billion trade deficit as of now.
Oh, for sure.
And in the month of February alone, it was 130 billion for 1 month, but for the year, 730 billion. And, I see things that are happening to level that off some, level the playing field some. And my personal opinion, it's going to all settle out in the next month or two.
Oh,
Um,
for sure. For sure. They're not gonna, I don't know that they, make, I don't think anybody is Phineas Fogg. Is it Phineas Fogg or that was around the world in 80 days?
I can't remember. That sounds right, though.
Fogg, I think, is right. I'm not sure if Phineas is right. But yeah, I mean, around the world in 90 days. I don't know,
Right.
which is what they're trying to do, right?
Yeah, normally these deals take a year plus each, and they're trying to get it done in 90 days. Like,
90 days.
mm,
90 and 90 is what they're trying to get done.
yep, yep.
I Well, I mean, a lot of them are small, right? A lot of them are going to be pretty easy to get pretty good done, right? But a lot of them are probably already done. It's just they haven't gotten to the top of the stack for somebody to rubber stamp, right?
Right, right. And I saw another article. I mean, this is a good news thing, I feel like. Thomson Reuters talk
Yeah.
about trade professionals. There is going to be, it appears anyway, a lot of onshoring,
Oh, sure.
re, reintroducing manufacturing in the United States for
Yeah.
things that are critical to our defense and our
Yep.
medical industry, like steel, aluminum, pharmaceuticals, things that we have to produce ourselves. We don't really want to be reliant upon other countries. So, if nothing else, I think a lot of that's coming back.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Well, it already is. I mean, you're looking at chip manufacturing. You're talking about all kinds of things that are changing. Even shipbuilding, CMA, CGM. There you go. There's $20 billion from one company to say, "Yep, let's start building in the United States."
Right,
If you're in international shipping or if you're in logistics, one thing is for sure, it isn't going to be very long before that goes down.
right,
It's not like these tariffs are going to happen and then it's going to rebound back to where it was. It's kind of like COVID. We're not going to rebound back to 2021 highs or 2022 highs. That's not happening. We're these tariffs are going to drain as far reduce the imports that are coming in, right? We've already started to see that coming down. It's not going back to the other levels. The
right,
idea is for it not to go back to the levels it used to be. So if you're in that vein, the long term is to understand that Trans-Pacific isn't coming back.
right. Yep. And I've
That
been seeing some news about free trade zones, right?
Yeah.
Bringing all the commodities in, but actually assembling and building things here. And that's one approach that some companies I see poking around, asking questions about free trade zones. How does that work? How do you know? And there's
I
a
don't I don't
lot.
think that works because inside these tariffs and stuff, the administration and the Greer is already talking about, U.S. Trade Representative Greer, he's already talking about the fact that part of this, when you start talking about the vessel fees, which is really part of the tariff things as well, right? It's the international trade that's going on, the vessel fees for Chinese built ships, right?
Right,
Part of that is to combat the fact of like importing through Canada and Mexico into the United States and avoiding tariffs like that way. So I don't think those free trade zone that idea is going to work because if it still comes from China, the tariff's going to still hit it. Doesn't
right,
matter. You're not going to get around it.
right. Not getting around it. I think you're right. And the automobile industry has been up front and center in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Yeah.
companies have already announced more manufacturing in the United States than before. I also think there's something going to happen with Europe, right? If you go to Europe, there's hardly any American cars whatsoever there. But if you go
Yeah.
up and
Well,
down the
there's
street
hardly any
here,
streets that can handle them.
well, yeah, we can't send them our big SUVs over there.
Yeah, I defy you to take a 72 Eldorado coupe and drive it around England.
Oh my
And I'm
gosh.
talking about a coupe.
That reminds me of a funny story, man. I worked in England and Scotland. And one time I went to St. Andrews and I was
Yeah.
in an Audi and I was driving down this road at St. Andrews. And the road was so tight that we clipped our mirrors.
Oh, wow.
And the speed limit on this road was 10 miles an hour. It was like an old horse trail, right? Clipped. And I thought, oh my gosh, I stopped. The guy that hit my mirror with me, he just waved. Like,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead. It's
happens
gonna
all the time.
happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, happens all the time. Just kept moving on. See, if you were in the U.S. and that happened, it'd have been a lawsuit, whiplash. You'd be in
It would have been a
all that.
3-year court case with 4 lawyers involved in it, and
Exactly.
a big
It, you
settlement.
know, but the impacts of the tariffs and everything are real and hurting people right now. There are people hurting, and that's not really the discussion here. But the hurt or the disruption in logistics is very, very real as well, which is hurting people as well. Because I mean, if you're in that boat, even if you're domestic, when I was at Freightwaves, I'd tell people, look, I can tell you in 3 months what's going to happen in the capacity in St. Louis. You can. And if you gave me sonar today, I'll tell you, I know exactly how to do it because the information's there, the orders placed, et cetera, and all that kind of stuff. And you know how long it takes to order a TEU, how long it takes to get it, placed, to load it, to move it to the port, and then across the water, and all kinds. You can time it out. It's not that difficult to figure out once you understand all the disparate data and how they, correlate, how everything correlates and impacts each other, and in what sequence. It's not that hard, right? But this, you don't know what that cost impact is going to be and who's going to abandon what and when they're going to abandon it and when this is going to end or that type of stuff, right? There's the bet that all this stuff is going to pile up, so to speak, on the docks of Shanghai, and she is going to have to cave, right?
Right. Yep. I mean, in terms of
And that's the
trading
bet.
partners, I mean, we have a massive deficit with China. So they honestly, I think I heard O'Leary say that America is 26% of the global GDP. I
That's
think
right.
that's what I heard. We're
Yeah.
26% of the entire gross domestic product of the world. And we don't export that much to China comparatively at
No,
all.
no, we
So
don't.
that's a tough fight if
And,
you're
and that's
China.
and that's that and that and therefore that's why you know we have the pocket aces.
Right,
China can't live without us,
right.
and they certainly can't live without what has either purposely or accidentally be created as a world trade coalition.
Right.
Basically, they said, okay, you got BRICS, okay, we got everybody else now.
Right.
Basically, you got China and Canada. Did you see that the graphic, and it shows all of the trading partners, is who has come to the table, who has agreed, and who is fighting back.
I have not seen that yet.
Okay, so every single country is either offered concessions, agreed to concessions. Everyone except China and Canada. They're the only two that retaliated. Period. That's it.
Right.
It's not a strong coalition.
No, it's not.
Hmm.
Nope. It's them against the world, essentially.
Yeah.
Uh,
But regardless of how you look at it, the pain is very real right now, right? But the philosophical question that you have to ask yourself, whether you're in business or not, is what is the cost of my immediate comfort? You know what I'm saying? Because once somebody else bursts your comfort bubble, Andy, it's too late. When you think about it in reality, right? If you're not actively trying to defend your comfort bubble or your lifestyle or national security, et cetera, by the time you have to defend it because somebody breaches it, it's over. And that's what we're talking about here, right? We're talking about a year or 6 months or whatever of pain and uncertainty, et cetera. Certainly. And I'm not sitting here on a ton of cash. I'm trying to start a new business, and I'm importing stuff from Asia, and I'm importing stuff from different countries, trying to negotiate this. I'm in the mix. I don't just sit here as a talking head and go, I've got tons of money, and so you need to do this. No. OPT USA, I'm importing stuff and trying to do stuff and export all over the place, trying to make this happen. It's real, and the pain sucks. I don't know if I'm going to be in business from one day to another right now, watching what is going on. But I understand if we don't do it now, I will be out of business in 3 years, period, because of the trade imbalance. It's got to be corrected. So there's my soapbox. Boom.
Yep. I feel like the same. It needs to be corrected. It's gone on too long where we're not being treated fairly. That's in a nutshell. We're not being treated fairly in trade. It's not balanced. Some corrections have to be made. In my gut feeling, it's going to be just my gut feeling. 3 to 6 months of this. Am I going to order that? Am I not? Am I going to wait? Am I going to do it? Am I all of that going on in the market for 3 to 6 months, probably.
Listen, my opinion right now, I'm going to go on. I'm just going to say, look, if I'm not ordering anything from China, right? Not worried about it. Business as usual, rock and roll.
Right, right. If you're not ordering from China, right. Yeah.
Rock and roll. Rock and roll, dude. You're good.
Right.
I mean, this is how negotiation is done. It's not, hey, we're gonna continue to let you have the upper hand and beg you to come to the table and make it a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better, which has been our trade policy for way too long. That
I would
doesn't
I
work.
would also argue Canada right now is in flux. Like what's
Well, yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, Canada's in flux right now too.
right.
I agree. But I mean, what are you buying from Canada?
Yeah. I know it. I think they're threatening things. They're threatening water, energy, oil, essentially, basically. But again, if you look at the trade deficit,
Yeah.
US versus Canada, we honestly as a country hold the cards there.
It is, and but it needs to be done for a fair and equitable reason, and that's what it is. And people need to, a lot of people need to understand. I think a lot of people do. Just look at look at the stock market. One could argue very intelligently that all that happened was a correction.
Right.
Okay, seriously, went from 46 to 40. Boom, a correction. And then it's stabilizing, and the only reason it's not going through the roof is because we have these tariff things, right?
Right.
If this was, you see what I'm saying? Because a lot of this stuff is just posturing right now. She's in trouble. She's in trouble of the military staging a coup in China, right? He can't last in this war all that long. He just can't. So he's got to do his political posturing and all that other kind of stuff. That all that stuff happens. Canada is the same way. We're going to cut off electricity and do all this kind of stuff. Meanwhile, there's talks happening in the back room. Say, hey, I'm going to say this. I'm going to do this. You let me save face here, and I'll do this, and I'll do that. All that stuff is happening in the back room. That's what the trade negotiations are that are happening right now.
Right. I'm
Um,
sure there's much different things being said behind closed doors
oh God, yeah,
than behind a microphone. Guarantee you
yeah.
that.
Absolutely, 100%, 100%. If they're not, then I mean, come on,
They won't be in power for long.
no,
They'll be
no.
replaced with somebody that's got more of a level head than
Yeah,
that. So,
yeah, exactly.
yeah, absolutely.
Agreed. It sucks. It's tough right now, and the times are not going to get better for a little while. But in my opinion, I'm hurting. My business is questionable of whether it's going to go under or not. But I'll get through this, and on the other side, it'll be brighter, and I'll do it again. I'll start over again. I guess is what it is. But
Right.
to say, hey, look, I'd rather just be comfortable and let what I know is eventually going to destroy this by the time I'm ready to retire. Nah, I'm not ready. I'm not. I'll take the pain now.
Right.
Sign me
Yeah.
up.
It's like ripping the band-aid off right now. We're ripping
I'll
that
take
band-aid
it.
off.
100%.
Yep. Absolutely.
100%.
Well, more to come on this front. I'm sure it's front and center every week right now. So that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for listening or watching, everybody, and we will see you again on the next one. Take care.